Welcome to The Universe is Talking. I'm your host, King.
And I'm your host, Aja.
Today's episode is titled, Why Are You Attacking the Other Woman? Aja, we talked and we agreed that you're going to start this one, so I'm going to sit back and let you do your thing. Yes, we did.
We did not. You said you were starting this one because I think this one was actually a you topic.
No, it wasn't.
And you were
social media.
Yeah, and you were pretty adamant about having this discussion.
I don't have no adamants no more.
I think you're being funny, but that's okay. I know how to flow with it. So last week, actually, we were discussing a topic that brings us to this point where we were talking about, what were we talking? What was our last topic? It was something about,
that man. Leave his wife for you.
Yeah, that man would never leave his wife for you. And in that discussion, I kind of brought up one of the things that does eventually happen when someone is in a relationship with someone that they really shouldn't be in a relationship with, and they're involved. So he's involved with another woman. He may even be married to her, or it could be the opposite. You know, she has a husband and you are the other man. These things don't usually end very well because the longer you stay in this involvement with this person who's involved, their marriage, their married partner or their long-term life partner or even just their girlfriend is eventually going to find out about who he is seeing when he's not with her. And usually there's some sort of confrontation. Most of the time there is. Whether that confrontation is just on the phone because maybe a call was made, maybe a text was made, and so a call was made, so there's some sort of follow-up, or, you know, in some extreme circumstances, there's actually a physical altercation. And I know that we brought this up as a topic because we saw where a woman was actually like beating the woman that he was found in the bed with, beating her with a frying pan, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not the first time that we've seen this type of aggression towards the woman that a husband or boyfriend has been seeing. It's not the first time we've seen that type of aggression. So it kind of brought us to the point of, like, why is it that women and even men, but I think we're taking it from the perspective of women doing this because it's the thing that we see more often. Why are women so aggressive and combative towards the other woman? Or even if the other woman is aggressive towards the wife, like, it can become extreme in the opposite as well. So why are women fighting over men? Let's just put it that way. Especially if a man has put them in this position, why are they fighting? And my thoughts are, because I really I have no notes, no notes whatsoever, and I really haven't given it a lot of thought because there's really one thing that comes to mind, and it's something I've said before in speaking with people and also speaking on this podcast. A lot of times people just want a relationship. It's not even about him specifically. I mean, yeah, maybe at one time it was about him. He was fine, or he has a good job, he has great attributes, and that's what lured you in, and that's what made you fall in love. But after some time, what happened is you become invested in the relationship, the title, the fact that he is your man. You take ownership of that relationship and you feel very strongly about it. So when there's anyone that intrudes upon it in any kind of way, you're pretty possessive about the relationship. And a lot of times when women, especially the one who came first, let's just put it that way, whoever she is, whether she's wife, girlfriend, whatever, she came first, what she's doing is she's protecting her territory. Now, I've heard people argue and say, well, he's not property. You've got it twisted. It's not him that's the property. It's her relationship that's the property. That's how she's looking at it. This is her shit. This is her relationship she's built. She feels like, now I'm not saying I agree with any of this, although I do in some regards, I do. But what I'm saying is the person who's been in this relationship with him has put in a lot of work, time. Her whole life is built around this relationship, I guarantee. The way that it looks to the public, everything about it. Like, she takes great pride in the fact that she's married. I know people who it really matters to them that they're married, and no matter what he does, they're not going anywhere because they like being married, and they don't want anyone to know that there's a problem. So they're going to try to keep the visual of them being in a relationship, keep up appearances with that. So when he fucks around and he does something with this other chick, she's mad at this other chick because that other chick is fucking up the visual, the appearance, and everything she worked for. I don't even know that person's even caring about him anymore because she's so disgusted with his ass. She's mad at him. This probably is not the first time. If he's getting caught, this is not his first time because he's just getting sloppy now. He's been doing it so much and so often that he's just thinking that he can just do it now because he's been doing it. She's let him get away with it so many times that she's like, he's like, I could just do this. I'm gonna just get me another woman all the time. So he's not even care. He's careless. In the video that we saw, he was careless enough to bring this chick to the house that he shares with his woman. That's how careless he was. That's how much he didn't even care. That's what I'm saying. Careless. He cared not. And he got caught. But he doesn't care. He don't care about either one of them in that circumstance, in that situation. So she knows this. She's pissed at him, but who she's more pissed at is the woman who has the potential to threaten parents that she has this relationship. And the risk of her losing the relationship, it really becomes less about him and more about the situation. And that's what they're fighting for. It's stupid, especially the lengths that people go, hitting a woman with the frying pan in it. That's just ridiculous. But I'm just saying that's, especially if she's married to him, if that's her husband and that's the bed they share as husband and wife. But see, they both would have got hit with the frying pan.
Yeah, I cannot say that I'm against getting physical if it's someone that you're married to. I can't say that I'm against that because you and this person that you're married to, you have a real commitment and bond with each other. So I can tell you right now, when I speak about this, I'm not speaking about the people that are married. Although I might go there also. I might. Who knows? It sounds like you're ready for me to go.
I was ready for you to start.
All right, so I'm going to warm this up a little bit. So, again, if you are married and you find out that this person that you're married to has been going outside of your marriage and doing whatever with whoever, and you decide to get physical with this person, I'm with you on that one. I can't even say you're wrong in this situation. Nah, you looked me in my eyes. My family most likely was there when this all happened, and we vowed to be together. Only us is just going to be us, and you have the nerves to be stepping out on me. and being with somebody else, yeah, if I catch you, I'm busting their head, I'm busting your head wide open, and when your head closed back up, I'm busting wide open again. I feel you. That's cool with me. I understand. But I'm not going to talk about married couples. I'm going to talk about men who find out that their women are cheating on them, and they approach the other man, whether that's a phone call, a text message, or physically approaching him. My only way of speaking of this one is to speak on a past life of mine. So, this happens to not be one of the topics that I researched. This one is something I've actually experienced.
Okay.
All right, so as I begin this, let me also say, men seem to think that they're the only ones who can go outside of their relationship, find somebody different, date them, have sex with them, be in another relationship with them outside of the other relationship that they have going on, vacation with them, all of the above. Men think that they're the only ones that can do this. Truth be told, women do it as well, and women do it better. So when the man finds out that his woman is cheating on him, maybe she's doing it out of revenge because she found him cheating. Maybe this is just her thing. She needs to have more than one person, whatever the case might be. When that man finds out, he, just like the woman who finds out, often reaches out to this other person. My question to him is, why are you bothering this other man, especially if the man has been so kind and considerate towards you? He's not fucking her in your house. He's inviting her over to his house. He's making sure that she comes home at a decent hour every single time that she's with him. Typically, he gets her back home to you around 10 p.m.-ish. I personally think that as long as she's home by 12 a.m., everything should be good, but he even gives you an extra grace period and sends her right back to you around 10 p.m.-ish. Again, I think he's being very considerate of you. He makes sure that he doesn't call her first. He wait until she reaches out to him. He don't text her first. He wait until she reach out to him for that. If she wants to email him, don't text or call. He's fine with that. Again, he's considering you and your feelings. He doesn't want to disrespect, creating any alarms in your head. So he tells her, well, you just hit me up first. Whenever you hit me, I'll respond. There's no reason for you to be reaching out to this man about what your woman is doing. But here we are now. Now you have picked up her phone, most likely, because you got the number out of her phone. So you picked up her phone and you called him from her phone. I don't think that the man that's doing the calling is prepared to hear the truth. He's so emotional about this situation. He's yelling and he's screaming. And he's not even asking the other guy if he's really sleeping with his woman. He's more so saying, I know you're not sleeping with my woman. Okay, well, since you know that I'm not, yeah, you're right, I'm not. You know it. You got it all figured out. He's waiting to hear any indication now that the guy's lying to him. So he might start saying things like, don't lie to me. I know you're sleeping with her. All right, so now I'm confused because you told me I wasn't sleeping with her, but now you're telling me not to lie to you and tell you that I am sleeping with her. But I'm still trying to be considerate of your feelings and emotions here. I'm hearing the anger in your voice, and this is what I've been trying to avoid for you all along. I didn't want you to get upset or angry. I wanted you to continue to have a great time because she told me that you've been fucking around with them hoes 3 or 4 times, but she stayed with you and she forgave you because she loved you. But now she's decided to go ahead and step out also. I just thought that you would have more time to yourself in the holes that you're dealing with if I took her off of your hands for a little while. Why are we tripping? There seems to be a big misunderstanding between the two men at this point. More so a misunderstanding between the guy that she's in a relationship with. because the guy that she's not in a relationship with, but she's coming to for a good time once in a while or whatever the situation might be, he has no commitment to her outside of just being available whenever he say he will be available. The guy has done a great job of not interfering with their life at all. He doesn't deserve this hostility from her boyfriend. Now, he's still being a very great guy. He's being a gentleman about this. He's saying, listen, I don't know what you're talking about, my brother. You should speak with her about whatever questions you have. No, I've never slept with her. No, I don't touch her. No, you're wrong. I'm not sleeping with her. Nope, not me. I'm not the one. But the boyfriend still don't believe it. So he's still yelling and screaming. So eventually the other guy hangs up. That's phone call number one. Not even 20 seconds go by and the guy called right back. Now, maybe he's come to his senses at this point. Maybe he called to apologize for his anger and his aggression. It's very obvious that he's having a bad time at home. As the other guy, that can be forgiven. We understand. Something's going on between you and your woman. It's a misunderstanding between you and her. You called me because you thought I was involved in that. I can understand your anger, but hopefully I've cleared up the situation. I'm not the guy that you're looking for. You and her figure it out and have a good day. To my surprise, though, when he calls back, he's still angry and upset. Now he's mad at me for hanging up on him. I was trying to do him and her a favor and end this whole conversation so that way I don't get upset. Because now if I get upset, I might say something that he don't want to hear. I also understand that I might be putting her in danger because he's yelling already. So again, I approach this thing with a calm head. I'm trying to be cool. I tell him, listen, you sound very upset. I need you to calm down because I don't want to get upset with you because I've been trying to be nice to you the whole time. I didn't think that was going to work when I said that to him, but magically it did work. Somehow it calmed him down, but he still want to know the truth. Did you sleep with my woman? I said, all right, I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm going to need you to believe me when I tell you this truth. He said, okay, go ahead and tell me. I said, no, I'm not sleeping with your woman. He said, all right, I was tripping. He hung up the phone. Now, this is the lesson I want the men to learn from this whole picture that I just painted, and it's a true story, but this is what I want them to learn. When you calm down and let her out of your sight, she's running right back to the man that you called because he treated this whole situation with so much respect for her. Respect that you didn't even have for her when you got caught. When you find out that your woman is creeping out on you, you don't need to make that phone call. Yes, she's doing it. The evidence is in front of your face. What do you want the guy to tell her? Tell you. What do you want him to tell you? You never saw his phone number in her phone before. You never seen her engaging in conversation with her before. Engaging in conversation with him before. So when this new number with this new name pop up in her phone and you think that she's sleeping with this other man, yes, she is. You want to know why? Because he's providing a happiness for her that you no longer provide. But let's look at the bright side of all of this. She's still coming home to you for now. At best, you should try to figure out if you're going to try to make things right with her so she can stop seeing this guy if you make things right with her. Or maybe you and her need to have an honest conversation. Look, I know I've been doing some things on the side. I now see that you're doing some things on the side. Maybe if we can stay together, we need to evaluate the possibility of both of us having other people on the side if we want to stay together. The man to make that phone call and want to attack the other guy is not going to get you the result that you're looking for. Because what if you go attack him and he kick your ass?
Big possibility.
A very big possibility. So now you lost your woman and you lost your ass because you got it kicked. You might have to go to the hospital to get it patched up because now it's bleeding all up and down the street because he done whooped your ass thanks to you approaching him wrong. You should never disrespect a man that's been very respectful in his fucking of your woman. Imagine the anger that you're creating in him now. I think that you're actually the one that's being disrespectful in this situation. That's what I think. The man that make that phone call or place that text is the person that's being disrespectful. All right, I need to calm down then because this got me a little upset.
Yeah, you got worked up, a little huffy. You sound kind of like me.
I just hate when this happens. I really hate when this happens. And again, I try not to take my anger out on him when he make the phone call because I don't want anything to happen to her. But after I get off the phone with him, now I'm pacing around my house trying to figure out who the fuck he thinks he is, calling my goddamn phone with all that bass in his goddamn voice. After all the considerations I sent his way. Go ahead, you go. I'm a contact.
I don't know what else to say. I ain't got shit else to say. I mean, this is one of those topics. I'm just gonna get serious I'm gonna try to get serious for a moment. The person that you're in a relationship with, that person is the person that should be the most respectful of your relationship. That's the one that you've made some sort of commitment to. Let's leave marriage out of it. You know, you're in a relationship. That's the person that you said, you know, you circled, yeah, I'll be your girl, or yeah, I'll be your man. Like, that's the one. And that's the one who has the most responsibility to be kind, honest, faithful, whatever you guys have agreed upon. Because to me, it's all about what you've agreed upon. The assumption that because two people are in a relationship, they're automatically like there's no one else, that's not an assumption anyone can make. You know, there are different types of relationships here in this world, and some of them include having people on the side. That includes married people as well. So sometimes when you're seeing someone and you think they're creeping, they may not be creeping at all. That may just be their relationship dynamic. So to me, it's all about what you've agreed upon. And if you've agreed upon there being no one else and this person is now seeing other people, then they're the ones who have disrespected you, not the person they're seeing. However, I should add this caveat in there because I think that too often the people who are the side person like to think of themselves as being completely innocent in this relationship dynamic that wasn't sanctioned by both partners. If you know you are the side and there is no evidence that this person, that both people are fine with your presence, and how you know that is everything he's doing is secretive. Everything. Like there's no aspect of your involvement that is open. You can't call him and him accept the call at hours that he's at home, because by doing that, that would alert her of your presence. So that you are a secret. If everything is a secret about you, then you know very well you're not in this relationship with him. You're his side piece. Now, a lot of people in that position like to think they don't have any responsibility to her because he's the one that's in a relationship. But you kind of do. You know, like, I feel like the part of the problem is that people aren't kind to other people just because they're not friends with them. It's like, that ain't my friend. She ain't my homie. Like, why should I care about how she feels? Because could be your sister. Like, she's a woman, and so are you. Are you doing something to your fellow man or sister that you would want to happen to you? The answer is likely no. Therefore, if you know it's wrong, then it's wrong. You know it's wrong, so it's wrong. And I'm not saying that we don't do things that are wrong. We do. Everybody has done something that is wrong. I am not innocent. I've done my shit. But I will admit to my shit. I won't sit here and say it wasn't bad shit. I won't sit here and say that if I'm in the position of this other woman, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all him. He's the one that's fucking up his relationship. No, I'm part of it. I'm the one lying with him. I'm the one, that's part of the scheme. I've likely been quiet whenever he spoke to his wife. I've likely, sucked his dick while he was sitting there talking to his wife. I've done all those things. Not me, not really me. Be clear, if somebody comes in on this section of the podcast, they just clicking around and they hear, oh, I do it. No, I'm just saying, I'm putting myself in someone else's shoes, and I'm saying that the possibility of me being a part of his lie is there. If you are the side piece, you are an active participant in his lie. You are a part of the lie. Let's just be truthful, because you know what he's doing and you're helping him with it. Because everything he's got to do in order to keep it up involves you. Because the longer you are together and the more involved you are, the more things he's doing with you. Like you said in the beginning, he's taken, her on vacation. He's taking his side piece on vacation. He's doing things with her. He's going places. They're spending the night. There's all kinds of stuff that's happening that's like relationship-like. This also attributes to why it's hard for these women who are the side piece to distinguish between, it being in a real relationship and just being the side piece. They can't get it in their minds because they're doing relationship things. Now, if you're staying with him overnight, if you're going on vacation with him, any of those things, he's got to call his woman. He's got to check in. He's got to take her calls. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's got to happen. And you have got to help, because you can't be doing stupid stuff like coughing in the background and talking and laughing and all of that. Nope. You got to shut up. You got to go somewhere. You got to help him. You're an accomplice in this. And so you participate in his lie. So yes, when she's kicking your ass for helping. Yes, she is. She's kicking your ass for helping him get away with this bullshit. And you know very well that had it been you would feel just as strongly. You know it. You know it because she sensed your presence.
Absolutely.
When she spoke with him and it was just too damn quiet, or he's going through too much trouble to make sure that, there's people around and, yeah, that's my boy in the background and, and she's like, there's somebody right here. And she can feel this other woman. She knows it, and she knew it was you the whole time, and you were sitting in line and helping him. As I said a couple of podcasts ago, one of the biggest problems I have as far as sisterhood is that we don't see the potential to be sisters with each other. We're often in competition. We're often against each other. So here, this could have been an ally, and now she's an enemy. She's an enemy. You will never be sisters. And there's a lot of women out there that are burning bridges that haven't even been built with women because they're so busy trying to be with some man that don't belong to them. Doesn't belong to anyone. No, he's not property. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying he is not yours. You know it. You know what I'm saying. He ain't your man. He ain't the man for you. He's probably not the man for her either. Because if he were, this would not be the issue. But the point is, you know what the point is. You shouldn't be all up in their mix. You're so busy trying to get validated that you're willing to stoop low. All that bullshit you did to help him lie. How did that make you feel? It didn't make you feel good, did it? All that sneaking and lying and shit. Maybe the sex felt good, but that's all it was. Because when you came out from under that cloud, where'd he go? He didn't come home with you and stay with you. No, he disappeared, and he probably had to disappear for some time because he got to make up for all the shit that he didn't do when he was hiding and sneaking in line with you. So now you really feel your position after the fun because he's got to have fun with her now, and he's got to be good with it now. He's got to give her jewels, and he got to kiss an old baby. He ain't going to answer no texts for a couple of days. He ain't calling. He ain't seeing you. He's got to be on point with his woman because he lied to her, and she sensed it. And when he walked in, he had to act like everything was fine and that he missed her. And he got to make up for lost time. And you sitting there sucking your thumb in your house or wherever you live, trying to figure out when he going to call you the next time. And what kind of shit is that? Being a secret. Being a lie. Potentially getting your ass beat and really potentially getting killed over your involvement with this woman's man. I'm trying to really, I know that we make jokes here, but when it comes to fucking with somebody's husband, you're really going into a territory that I don't know that you're really ready for. That woman hitting back the frying pan, that could kill somebody, getting hit with a frying pan. Get hit in the wrong spot, that's it. I mean, King, you're a boxer. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah, whenever I see some shit like that, I look at it way different.
Yeah, all it can take is just, here's the thing. The thing that people don't realize, anything can kill you. It could be the lightest of taps, but it just hits you in the wrong spot. Or you could have already had some sort of hemorrhage or something in your head and you didn't know about it, and you got hit and that's it. Or you didn't hit her really that hard, but she hit her head against the side table, and then that was it. Anything. It doesn't take a lot for somebody to die. It just takes it going too far. All over dick. All this dick in the world. That's a lot. There's lots of dick. Lots of dick. I'm sorry. There's lots of dick. They not in my life, but there's lots of dick. Are you messing with involved dick? Seriously involved. Living with a woman involved dick. Why? Why are you up in somebody's house sleeping on their stinky sheets? Their body and all of that.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't say there is a proper way to do this.
Okay.
There is. Maybe if that other woman met with the wife and asked for permission to fuck her husband, maybe that would be a better way to go about this. If the wife say yes, then it's yes. And if the wife say no, then it's no. You take your ass on and go find these dick for you. Maybe that would be a more safer way of doing things. What do you think about that?
I don't know what I think about that.
All right, I got to calm you down because I hear it in your voice. I hear where you're going. Let's calm you back down. Let's get back to the topic.
I'm calm. But
I know, but it felt your silence kind of let me know that you was kind of seeing in your head if some, I'm going to just say, bitch, dare came to you asking to sleep with your husband. Because I know you, I know how fiery you get when it comes to him. I had to calm you down once or twice.
Well,
although it wasn't joking, although we were joking, just to hear that was a beautiful thing, to know how serious and real you were when it comes to your husband.
I am. I'm serious about my marriage to him. He's not my property. And we have gotten to a place in our marriage where the inkling of someone trying to be, I don't know, like to disrupt our flow is kind of funny to the both of us. Like we laugh at it. he'll say to me, there have been times he's come home and he has said, you know, you need to come to the grocery store with me the next time because, you know, the woman was trying to get my number. And I know he's telling the truth, but it's comedy for us because we're solid now. I mean, I know that a lot of people feel this way, even early on, that they got a good thing. But I can say that as you go on and you know your spouse, you know what you have in them. You know the type of partner you have. You know what you can expect. You know their fidelity. And you know the potential of them doing things. Everybody can slip out and cheat. But it isn't a worry of mine that my husband cheats. It's always a possibility that he will, you know, in the future. It's always a possibility, but it's nothing that sits in my mind. I trust him. So whatever that's worth. What it does do, though, for us is that it makes us calm about other people and them trying to be a part of this picture with us. And I think it makes it fun. But I am protective of my marriage. So if someone does more, I think if they do more than just show their attraction, now at this point they're doing things to be visible to him, that right there to me will get a bitch slapped. And I mean, and I've seen it. Like I've seen someone like go out of their way to be in front of my husband in his view. I mean, like literally and figuratively. They went out of their way to be present. And I think that that's just going too far. If my husband wants you, let him want you. I'm not saying I want him to want you, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I just have a problem with any woman or man going out of their way to be visible. I think it's sad because I would rather, and maybe it's just me, I'd rather someone want me and them want me and then show me they want me than for me to go about trying to get them to want me. That is, it's just sad in my mind. But yeah, I'm calm. I think I'm just not calm about the idea of I know we make light of these things because it's life. You know, it's life. People are sleeping with someone that they shouldn't be sleeping with at this very moment. Somebody's doing exactly all the things we're talking about. Someone's involved in a relationship. I realize that's life. But what bothers me is that we're getting our hearts involved in this. It's messy. You know, it's not just an act. It's not just us fucking up and moving on. We are becoming tied to people that we have no business being tied to. We mess up homes. We mess up our own homes. We mess up our own hearts. And as I've said on this show many times, I'm a lover of women. I'm a lover of who we are. I want us to be okay. And I got to tell you, we're often not okay when we're the other woman. We're not okay. We're just not. And I think that's why I feel so passionately about it, because we're damaging ourselves in this arrangement. Men seem to do just fine. Y'all seem to be okay. But
with
us,
what? Okay with what? Being another man?
No, I can't speak for that, because I think some men are okay being the other man. I think some men are okay with it. I think most men are okay with it. Because you guys, even though we talked about on this show that you all feel deeply, you also know how to not feel deeply. Many of you have become experts in how to compartmentalize emotions. You have them, but there's a place for them. What?
In truth, we don't really know how to not feel deeply. In all truthfulness,
Mm-hmm.
But exactly what you said, we do know how to compartmentalize every single moment of that emotion. We make our decisions very early. How much of her we want? Do we only want a few hours with her? Do we want a few days with her? Do we want every single day with her? We make that decision very early, and we stick to that decision. It very rarely changes from the initial decision that we made. So yeah, as time goes on and we've been dealing with this woman for however long we've been dealing with, yeah, she will still be in the same compartment that we placed her in initially.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, our emotions did begin to get involved because we would have stopped seeing her long ago had our emotions not been there. Where we differ from women a little bit, we may disguise our emotions a little bit better than women.
Mm-hmm.
We can become active and distract ourselves with outside activities, whereas once a woman becomes tied into these emotions, it becomes the only thing on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be a destructive way of loving, because if he's the only thing on your mind, and I know I've said this before in previous podcasts, nothing against same-sex relationships or marriages. We're just not talking about that right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about man and woman and woman and man. If he's the one and only thing on your mind, and he's responsible for you having a smile on your face when you wake up, and he's responsible for you having that smile on your face as you go on through your day, and when you come back home to him, or he comes back home to you if you're a stay-at-home woman, and now you're really at joy because he's back in your presence, that's not really a healthy relationship, in my opinion, because where's your happiness in yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that destruction comes, when you find out that it might not even be another person involved. He might just want to be done with you because he's done with you. He's done with the relationship with you. And I know that might be heartbreaking, but we all have to be respectful in those moments. The man has to be respectful towards the woman. The woman has to be respectful towards the man. Hopefully they can have a open and honest conversation about where they went wrong with each other and end it if they're agreeing to end it. Or now that they've had that conversation, maybe they could see where they could fix things and make it better so they could both be happy in the relationship. But for her to be the only one that's dependent upon him for her happiness is a path to destruction at some point in the course of that relationship or marriage.
I don't disagree. I agree wholeheartedly with that, because I think oftentimes people look to the person they're with to make them happy, and that's a lot of responsibility for someone to continue to make someone happy. I've always thought and said that, no, you should be happy, at least mostly, and find ways to make yourself happy. That can include this person. So this is someone who doesn't take away from your happiness. This is someone who adds to the happiness that you have. The things that you're doing with them makes you happy. It adds to your happiness. It brings you happiness, but they shouldn't be the source of it. And I think that often what we see, I'll just say from social media, that perspective, because it's the thing that allows us to see so many people's relationships, or at least a part of it, is that you can see when someone is obsessed with their partner, because there's almost nothing that they're not including their partner in as far as their life. Like, everything is about their man. They get to tagging him all the time. There's always pictures of him, and whenever they're talking about them, and it's just them. And I get it, like, you love him and he's wonderful. I often think that's usually the beginning of a relationship because, you haven't had time to see that he's human yet and that he's liable to piss you off, and not everything he does is wonderful. Things that he's going to do that's not going to make you happy. But usually in the beginning there's this obsession about him, and it really shows. And I feel sad for that because he will disappoint you, not because he's trying to disappoint you, but because he's being himself. And in being himself, he cannot always be pleasing to you. There's no such thing as someone making you 100% happy with their actions, because they are them. They're going to be doing their own shit. They're going to be making themselves happy. That's why you got to be making your own self happy too. You've got to have your own things. You've got to be involved in your own projects, have your own friendships. Like, you've got to have your own shit. And, the two of you can find happiness together. But that obsession stage, a lot, and I would say that it's more a woman thing to be obsessed with her man than it is for her man to be obsessed. There are emotional men. Let's just, there are a percentage of men who have qualities that are more women-like, in that they're more emotional, outwardly emotional. Yes, there are. But it's a small percentage. Most men, as you said, you all know what to do with it. And I'm not saying we don't, but I'm saying for yourselves, you know what to do with it. And that's what I meant by you put them in compartments. They're there. They just go to a certain place. They're only used for certain things. Those emotions are used at certain times, but they're not all the time. It's not like, ooh, baby, I love you, all day long, smooch, 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 like. And I don't know, I got to be honest. At one point in my life, I thought I would want a man who was like, what's the song where the man is emotional? But I forget there's a song. It might even be like a Babyface song where sensitive. What's the song?
Yeah, sensitive sounds like a Babyface song.
Yeah, something like, I thought I might want that, but nah. I'm good with a man who has the ability to be sensitive about me. Like, I'm his sore spot. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like he wears that on his sleeve. And I don't know, like, I need him to balance me out, because I could be a true softie. Like, I know it doesn't appear that way most of the time, but I am the more sensitive out of the two of us. I need him to not be sensitive when I am, because if we're both a crying mess, the fuck is that going to do? Like, I just, I don't know. I just need him to have it together when I don't. So I love the balance of that, but I used to think that having a sensitive man would be a good thing. But when I see sensitive men, I don't like it. I don't like that shit very much. And I think that those are the ones that do things like call the other man, because he doesn't have control over his emotional content, so he goes overboard. And I think those are scary people because they don't have control. So they're the ones who just like come to somebody's house and stab them. You know what I mean? Because it's just like all caught up in their feelings as opposed to logic. And I need my man to have some logic. So, yeah.
Yeah,
right,
and the other man needs her man to have logic also. Be logical about this thing that I'm doing with your woman. Calm, chill the fuck out, go do whatever else you want to do, and don't you ever in your goddamn life call or text my phone again.
Yep.
Go ahead, take the phone.
That's it? We have no more?
Nope. I was to say anything else.
We've been having a really good season, I think. I think that we've delved into the deeper aspects of human interaction, the things that we often don't want to admit to other people. The two of us have been touching upon those things, and I'm loving that experience. So I just want to thank you for being my co-host and being able to get deep with me on a variety of things. I didn't think I was going to have anything to say today because, I'm not a fan of extramarital relationships, or at least I'm not a fan of the glorification of it, and I never want to give the appearance that I'm condoning it. I just recognize that it's something, and that good and bad people find themselves involved in relationships that they shouldn't be in. But my whole hope is that if it's not good for you, if it's hurting you, harming someone else, even if, like I said, even harming your sister, stop, because it shouldn't be the type of thing that's ruining lives or puts your life at risk. So, I know we make fun, but keep that in mind that it's really not that serious. You should find something that's better for you. But I do.
Yeah, I had nothing at all for this topic, even last week, because we lined episode 6 and episode 7 up in this order for a reason, because it just flowed together perfectly. And I didn't have anything for this topic last week. I didn't have anything for this all week this week. It wasn't until yesterday morning when something just told me, go after this one, with the thought of the man attacking the other man. And then, of course, I could speak to man shit all day long. So that was how I came up with something to talk about for this episode. But I enjoy sitting back and listening to you. Only women can call other women out on their shit. Men never know what's going on with women. We pretty much take everything at face value, in all honesty. So when we have the opportunity to listen to a woman speak on woman shit, we really need to listen and pay attention to what's being said, because we're men. We do man shit. We do things the way that we do it. When we see another man doing what he does, we recognize that. But we will never understand the hows and the whys behind why women are doing what they do. And that's what I love about having this show with you. I get to sit back and listen to that aspect.
Aww. I think that our listeners, majority women, I'm not going to say they don't like me. I think that some of them love me. I want to give a shout out to Jennifer Copeland, who has been rocking with us since the beginning. I want to give a shout out to Simona, who says that our show gets her through. There's Michelle Bennett as well, who listens faithfully and, privately gives her feedback. There's a few people who have really been supportive of not just one of us, like all of us, like both of us. I love that. I love that you get individual feedback, and so do I, but I love it when there are people who see the beauty in the two of us. And I know I don't make everybody feel warm and fuzzy because I'm not the comedian on this show, but that's not ever going to be who I am. I'm funny. I am. But I choose to take the approach of calling us out, calling women out, because we need it. All right, like, I'm a woman. I know we need it. Like, I know that oftentimes we don't feel like we've got to be responsible for our actions because, we'll find an excuse to live behind. We're very brilliant. That's one of the great things about being women, is that we can always find an excuse. We can always find a reason. There are good reasons, but I think the truth is always the best reason why we need to make changes, why we should be doing better for ourselves. We carry a lot of weight. We are the strongest creatures in the universe. We are the strongest. The part of being strong is knowing that there's some weight you don't have to carry, especially self-imposed weight. Getting yourself in situations that are only harming you is just not pretty. It ain't the shit. That's really not queen shit. I'm sorry. It's not queen shit. Don't call yourself a queen when you're taking unnecessary pain with you wherever you go. And so, no, I'm not going to laugh at that. I'm not going to make fun of that. King's job is to be a comedian because he has that beautiful, lighthearted spirit, and he does it perfectly. But I know that he is the balance to me where I'm going to tell you, that's some shit you need to quit. If you really want to be a queen, let that bullshit go. That nigga go. Let him go. He ain't good for you. Let it go. Get you a king. And if you can't have a king, and I don't mean this king on the call, if you can't have a king, just be a queen. Because you don't need a king to be a queen. But you ain't no queen when you fucking with jokers. You just not. Okay? All right, I'm going to say it. So.
You just went that deep on him, and now you want to put on this sweet voice.
Hey.
You got some shit with you. You know that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But that's me. That's me. Okay? So thank you for listening to The Universe is Talking. And as always, it is a pleasure to have you on this journey with us. We do want to hear from you. And I keep saying that, but I've not seen anybody make any recommendations. So I'm calling out Jennifer and Simona. Those are the two that talk the loudest. There's some of you that are lurking and are listening and you're not saying anything. Come on out. Come on out from the cracks. Let us know that you're there and let us know what you want us to talk about because, you know, we're always picking up topics that we see and that feel compelling, but, you know, make your argument. Like, let us know there's something else that we should be tackling for you. So leave those thoughts below in the comment section. In the meantime, be sure to like, follow, and share. We do need you to help spread the word about The Universe is Talking. And until next time, love on each other.